This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, and verse 24 in the NLT. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors into the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the heads and elders of all the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do rule well, who I've learned this 100% truth from, this 100% truth from, who are the true leaders of all Israel, Yasha Allah today, whether you can receive that or not. Peace, blessings, salutations to the Bayat, Dawayad, the house of David, tabernacle of David, those predestined spirits of election scattered abroad, starting with the 144,000, the governing body in the kingdom to come, 12,000 men of each tribe of Israel, the prophets, as well as the innumerable multitude scattered abroad of men, women, and children that are outside of the office of a prophet, rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of their ability, believing on the gospel being preached by the prophets, including those one third here in Babylon the Great, which is America prophetically. This is your brother Tazapania of the Great Millstone, Washington, D.C. Church. I don't want to write this out, Lord willing. This quick hit is edifying to the elect. Can't make this shit up, son. Can't make it up. Back to back. And I ain't talking about the Drake diss to Meek Mill. Yo, uh, the quote that Elder Apostle Tahar keep bringing out. There are decades where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen. We are in one of them type of weeks where decades are happening. Okay? Civil war has pretty much commenced on and is on a incline. All right, as we speak in 2026, the hopeful year, the year of apostasy, agents, and sellouts. All right. And us of the Great Millstone, starting with Elder Apostle Tahar on down, have been prophesying this through its correct interpretation of the scriptures through the faith and power, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, through faith in Yahweh Shai, which has not changed. The doctrine has not changed since coming on to YouTube, July 2007, and even before that. All right. Going all the way back to the original school, One West, 125th Street, Spiritual Jerusalem, Harlem, New York City. All right. Now, this happened in Portland, Oregon, where U.S. border, I want to say in customs agents, they boomed. I don't know if they unalived or whatever. I'm about to let this play, and it's developing. So usually I don't be impulsive when it comes to breaking news immediately like this without getting more information. But the narrative still stands. Okay, the narrative is that if you can read between the lines, the federal government is declaring war on you citizens, man. Whether it's staged, whether it's organic, it doesn't matter. It's a prophecy. Okay, so I'm gonna read that Mark 3 and 24 in the King James now, since I started it out with the NLT. Mark 3 and 24 says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Okay, and a kingdom is composed of different classes of people. Okay, so you have literally now, instead of people getting injured by pellets and mace and non-lethal bullet things, people are literally getting unalived. So what do you think this is going to do? This is now that we just went over that threshold. Okay, that threshold of it's life or death in on a carnal perspective level to these people that's out here, because we just sitting back and watching. Okay, because we know what we have to do. We're staying occupied in prophecies. We staying out the way. We continually making these videos, hitting the highways and hedges, so on and so forth. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna let this play filter it more through the scriptures and close on out.
You got here, guys. Yeah, this is not good. And there's already confusion going on because the street in Minneapolis was Portland. This is Portland. Like, I don't want it to get confused because there's already news sources conflating the two. Okay, so this is going to be from Cat 2.
So that right there already tells me that something sus is going on. Because remember, these people, they like to deal with symbolism. So yesterday, when that woman got boomed by ICE agent, it was on Portland Street or Road or whatever it was in Minneapolis. Now all of a sudden in Portland, more federal agents is doing. You see, so you can't take, just like Ella Yashwamba said, you can't put nothing past these devils when it comes to psychological operations and double Fs and things of that nature. Okay, because y'all Babylonians not moving fast enough for the elites. They like, yo, what's up, man? Y'all just gonna keep taking this shit? Rise up, uprising, do something. You see what I'm saying? Why? So that they can bring in order. They need you to act chaotic. And this is why Isaiah 33 and 6 is such a pivotal and essential precept. It's my probably one of my favorite precepts, man. For wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of his salvation, for the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Because as chaos increases, all right, our stability is going to become more and more rigid. So then there's going to be a differentiation between people that are losing it and people that are sane. And us that are sane are ones that have been following the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Local source here. I apologize for the coughing. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents shot 2 people in Portland on Thursday afternoon, according to ABC News sources. Again, we are just learning this as we go, and yes, this is Portland, Oregon. Officials holding a press conference.
Now you can see the scene down here, like you heard from my colleagues. We are still unsure on a lot of specifics at this time, and we will be on scene trying to learn more. Now we also did just learn that this apparent shooting happened on the 10,200 block of Southeast Main Street. So this is actually a little bit ways away, but this is where, again, we were told the 2 had been reportedly found and calling for help. You'd see several Portland police units are still on scene. Again, this is 148th and Burnside, blocked off westbound lanes all the way to 145th. And once again, we are still waiting on a lot of information. We will stay on scene and give you as many updates as we can in the time coming. Now, for now, I'll pass it back to you, Deb.
So, Jen, just to reiterate, this scene where you are is not where the shooting took place. Did the 2 people drive to that location?
Whoa.
We are still unsure, so let me read what we're told at this time. It says at 2:24, officers received information that a man who had been shot was calling and requesting help in this area. And officers responded, found a male and a female with apparent gunshot wounds. And apparently, officers on scene worked to give them medical treatment before they were transported to hospitals. Again, we are still unsure what the conditions of those 2.
And again, if you guys are just joining, the headline from all the news agencies, it's that Border Patrol agents shoot 2 people.
2nd and Southeast Main, a pretty sizable distance from where Jen and Christina are at 146th and Burnside. Those 2 people were shot by CBP officers. That is according to ABC News, citing local and federal sources.
We want to go back out to the scene where Christina Giardinelli is joining us live.
Oh.
Yeah, Deb, for some reference, I'm just about a block westbound of where Jen is that you just heard from. I did talk to a neighbor who said they saw those 2 individuals drive up in a car. Now, of course, that is unconfirmed by that press release that Wright just mentioned from Portland Police Bureau. But neighbors here did say they saw those 2 individuals drive up in a car. Hopefully, they are doing okay at this time. They said, from the looks of it, at least they were able to drive themselves here. And then police met them here in this neighborhood.
Allegedly, from what the neighbor said, they may have some family, some connection here, and that is why they came here with their car from where that scene happened, from when the shooting happened. And of course, just very recently getting that information confirmed from the Portland Police Bureau that scene happened in the address right provided you a little ways away from here, the shooting from 2 federal officers. There have been neighbors here just discussing this as we got here. A lot of people quite upset. And of course, Portland Police Bureau urging calm. We'll come back to you guys and we'll be here waiting and getting as much information as we can in the meantime.
And we will be waiting as well. Thank you for the $20 donation, Sheriff 3347. You do great work. Thanks for your dedication. Thank you. I know we've been covering Portland forever, and I've been saying this for a while now. The story in Portland has really transitioned. As far as this Portland ice clashing at an isolated facility, it has extended beyond that for a while now, as far as investigations are concerned, like deportation operations and that sort outside of just the Portland ice building. Now, I just saw that Portland FBI posted. Let me make sure you guys can see. And again, not to confuse anyone, because a lot of people are confused already. I'm always confused. Portland, Oregon. But what happened in Minneapolis was Portland Street. And the way that the algorithms work nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if people are getting stories confused. But this is Portland, Oregon. We are just finding out what's going on. And if you guys are new here, make sure to please subscribe. Make sure to please like. Thank you. FBI Portland. They say FBI Portland is investigating an agent-involved shooting that happened at approximately 2:15 near the 10,000 block on Main Street in Portland, involving Customs and Border Patrol agents, in which 2 individuals were wounded. This remains an active and ongoing investigation led by the FBI. Please follow this thread for updates regarding this matter. Hey, how you doing, E-Disciple? Thank you for being a member. Thank you, Vet for Peace. And thank you to the other members. Thank you. Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate stuff. Again, I don't want to make any implications here. We don't know exactly what's going on. This is all we know right now.
Unknown. And as you can tell, this is right at one of TriMet's max trains. That train is still running, as we have been seeing while we're out here. But again, we are still waiting on more information. Traffic is slow moving in all directions besides the closed lane. But again, neighbors here are urged to use caution in the area. So we will be sticking out here, of course, getting more information. Most of the neighbors are on the other side of where this is all blocked off, but this gives us a big view of what's going on here. Now, again, Deb, I am right. I will.
Yes, I do want to point out the Portland police are there. All right.
For investigating, and we'll be sure to keeping on top of things and letting you know as soon as we get any updates. But for now, I'll toss back to you.
Okay, Jen, thank you.
All right. FBI, say anything else? No, they just made their initial post.
So notice now, the FBI don't want to investigate the other one, because I was listening to Canadian Prepper, and yo, I'm laughing because we almost out of here, Akil. Hey, everybody give a round of applause. The Howard Shaw's coming, man. This play, the MOTB is about to come. We about to see. Let's read Psalms 91. This is the type of thing we about to see soon, man. Yeah, we have to prepare ourselves to see mass unaliving of people that unfortunately not going to be buried, pestilence because of the decomposing flesh, things of that nature. This thing is like, man, see those that follow the true prophets, that have the understanding, the spiritual eyesight, we understand the environment that is about to perspire, and we're preparing ourselves for this. Okay, the scriptures say to meditate on terror, the mad terror about to come, or the whole world, but the pinnacle is here in Babylon the Great. All right, this is Psalms 91. I'm gonna just go straight to the point. Quick precept. Psalms 91 and verse 5. And I'm going to read down to verse 7. It's Psalms 91, verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day. Because if any of y'all seen that Civil War movie, okay, when you go to sleep, it's going to sound like July 4th. Literally constant, you know, shootouts, man. And this is not no Pookie and Ray Ray shooting out in the project buildings with a couple of little clips. You hear you know for 30 seconds and you like it goes, you know, haywire in the hood. Yo, they was going crazy last night. No, we're not talking about 30-second shoot. We're talking about hours upon hours upon hours of constant do 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 boom do 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 boom boom boom, like this type. This is the type of shit we getting ready to see, man. All right, but the Lord is telling us not to be afraid. Okay, verse 6, it says, and it says, for the arrow that flieth by day. That could be the bullets or missiles, because the scriptures give symbolic arrows for missiles. Okay, verse 6, it says, nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness. Right, because listen, so, and because in verse 7 it tells you how many bodies you cannot, unless you have like an army of workers, like how it says in Ezekiel, what we're going to do to these elites, put them in perpetual continual employment to bury all these bodies that died in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, you know what I'm saying, in Western Asia. All right, in regards to the climax of, you know, World War III. But over here you can't have, it's going to be too much. So when all this blood that's spilled, you know, the spirits went back to the spirit world, the flesh is still here, and after 3 days it decomposing. You imagine the smell, the bacteria, you know what I'm saying, that is going to grow. It's going to be literally like fucking what's that damn, with the fungus and the fucking TV show. It was a good, that was off of the game. Anyway, but it's gonna be crazy out here. It says, nor the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Right? Because see, you right now during the noon, during let's say, you know, like lunchtime, right? Everybody going to the gas station, grocery store, to their little fast food spots, getting lunch, business as usual. But then imagine if you could foresee during lunchtime, quote unquote, bunch of destruction and people dying. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of things that we're going to be seeing. Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh unto thee. You see? So we have to be fully prepared of what's about to go down. Let's play a little bit more.
You guys hearing anything?
How about let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get
Oh, I
this.
have a video for you guys. This is from Ocean Plot. Now, this is unconfirmed. But the timing of it is pretty suggestive that this is what's going on. So the city council did have to take a break real quick.
Councilors, I apologize, but we actually need to recess the meeting immediately. I would like us to get back to this question. We will have more information for councilors in just a minute and for everybody in the room, but we do need to take a brief recess. We will be back as soon as we can.
Okay, so I do want to point out again, unverified, that they had to take a recess for that. However, the timing of it does, it all overlaps.
Come on.
We don't know anything. We don't know if there could have been illegal immigrants, nothing. So
All right, that look a little juicy right there. Let's see what this Edomite gotta say.
Counselor at this moment.
So I'm with Counselor Green right now for Dunphy. I am so sorry. It's been a day. I'm with Counselor Dunphy right now. Can you please tell us a little bit about what your reaction is to the news?
I'm absolutely furious and heartbroken right now. I'm needing to stop what I'm doing here and rush out to my district because it was heartbreaking enough to see what's happening in a different city, to know that this was coming to our community, and that one of my neighbors in my district is, two of my neighbors in my district are now sitting in a hospital bed, and hopefully you're going to be making it home. But this is not the kind of community that, not the kind of reaction from the federal government that we should be having. This is unacceptable. This is horrible.
Is there any information you can share with our
Yeah,
viewers
that's email.
aside from what Council President shared?
All we know is that at this point, we know that the person who was shot by a federal officer was the one who called for an ambulance. We know that it was a husband and wife, as I understand it. That's about all we know right now.
I understand it.
Okay, so we're just trying to figure out the truth right now.
Right. So nobody knows. He did a live stream. This T-Sply guy or whatever. I'm gonna get to the end. Let's see here.
Can you hear us?
We're not seeing any witnesses out here. Can you explain me? Yeah, I can't hear you guys right now. So Kevin
Thank you.
Allen is right behind me. He's
I got
on
it.
The phone call right now. He said there will be a press conference here in the coming hours. Looks like he's stepping away. But right, I did just hear you say in my ear, you're trying to get a better picture of where this happened. Since this is ending, my photographer, Felicia, we're gonna try and get closer and show you.
Okay.
You guys see that red caution tape right there under the awning? That is where Kevin Allen said the shooting happened. He said he could.
Medical office.
Okay, so that would be right here.
And you see that number
So
3.
this reporter, Catherine Cook, shout out Catherine. She was able to capture this, which would be actually this location right here. So she was accurate in this reporting. Sorry about that. And this would be, thank you for somebody sent, Vet for Peace sent 5 T-Sply gift memberships. So everybody say thank you.
So it says, oh, okay. Police are responding to incident in Southeast Portland. This is an OHSU Adventist Health Medical Office. So I'm assuming this is a Seventh-day Adventist run hospital. Okay, I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. All right. Through my mother and father, a lot of Benjaminites grew up Seventh-day Adventists as well. ICE agents are here. So unclear what happened. So you had ICE agents there, but then the ones that shot them were Custom and Border Patrol, which is weird. So I don't fully, again, what I'm doing this video for, Lord willing, is edifying in regards to prophecy of what is the narrative that's being pushed. Okay, Elder Malcolm likes to bring out all the time. They always want to control the narrative. So you also got to think of, why are they pushing this on mainstream media as soon as it happens, right? What is the narrative that they're trying to push? Okay, but either way, let's go to second address and then we're going to close on out. And then we'll, of course, hear more of this. But listen, let's go to the scriptures. Now the spirit is on fire, jumping on me right now. All right, second address 9. Let's go to second address, chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. So the angel is talking to Ezra. Esdras is the Latinized version of the prophet Ezra in the Old Testament. This is the Old Testament as well, the Apocrypha, which was taken out by the Protestant church. So if he was a prophet, through faith, we believe we're the prophets. We're supposed to be doing the same things, all right, which is the perfect will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So we're supposed to be measuring the time diligently in itself. So while we in this time, we're supposed to measure using what? Prophecies, right? And it didn't say lukewarm, haphazardly. It said diligently. So we're supposed to constantly be looking to see what's going on. How does this play in the timeline of things? Because we're hastening the day of the Lord. It says, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, because the Lord said that he would declare the end from the beginning. The things written aforetime was written for our learning. So we go into the scriptures, right, to see what signs, what tokens, what visions, what prophecies, all right, was spoken and how it lines up with the times that we in now. It says, which I told thee before. Exactly. Okay. Verse 2, then thou shalt understand. Remember, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. So you're supposed to understand the times that you're living in. that it is the very same time. See, it said the very same time. So understand this time right here is the very same time through faith that we believe because we're seeing it. We're actually the ones that's filtering it through the scriptures, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is twofold. All right. Yes, he would visit the world which he made with plagues and judgments upon the earth. But the highest, the most high Yahweh, is going to visit through his son when he sends his son back. Because he said, if you see Yahweh Shah said, if you see me, you see the Father. So Yahweh Shah's coming, and that's like the highest visit in the world because Yahweh Shah is actually the one that created the world. All right, Hebrews 1. All right, given the blueprint from the Heavenly Father Yahweh, because Yahweh doesn't get off of his throne, man. Verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. You know how many uproars happen today because of that Minnesota shit with the woman? Okay. It says, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And that's the point. So now let's go to 2 Edges 15. And I've read this yet. So, hey, if you got a problem with me bringing up, or any of the prophets for that matter, bringing up the same precepts over and over and over again, then go watch some booty shaking videos. You see what I'm saying? We're trying to, well, first of all, we're doing what is commanded of us. In Corinthians, it said, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. This is the good news. This kingdom being destroyed is good news to the prophets because we're seeking a place where dwelleth righteousness because we're pilgrims upon the earth. All right. But these things is going to increase. It is going to increase. All right. Do I want that one or do I want another one? Da, 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 da. Yeah, I mean, I could bring that out. Second Esdras again, 15, starting at verse. I'll move up this time. Verse 12. Second Esdras 15 and 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. And what's the foundation of Egypt? All right, the money, the slavery. Okay, so they enslaved people through contractual slavery of the world reserve currency, the fiat currency, the petrodollar. You see, so we owe the Lord is going, and notice it said the plague upon the foundation. When you go into James 5, it talks about how their riches are corrupted. You see, their gold and silver is cankered. All right. If a plague happens unto you as far as a literal disease, that's the same thing. Your skin is going to rot, it's going to canker, it's going to be corrupted. Okay. Verse 13, it says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for the sea shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh. See, this is what we're seeing. The sword and the destruction is drawing nigh or near. Nigh is King's English for near. So as this time is increasing, all right, the wars is increasing. The sword and these type of things are increasing. Okay. It says one people shall stand up to fight against another and swords in their hands. And this is eventually what they want. Imagine if every day we hearing a federal agent killing a citizen. What do you think the citizens going to do, man? You know, or vice versa. You hearing ICE agents getting unalive, you know, any type of federal agents getting unalive. What you think is going to do if you can't, and they pushing it in your face every time you jump on social media, death scrolling, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that, man, because martial law is about to come. Period, point blank. Verse 16 and verse 17. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So be prepared for martial law, man, because these people are going to go crazy. And this is the first week in 2026. Man, quarter 1. All right. As we approaching, you know, the true new year coming up into the Passover in March, April timeframe and things of that nature. So keep your head on a swivel, be circumspect, like the scriptures say, right? Redeeming the time because the days are evil. These is evil times, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say Kal Halal Yumla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakudash. On to the next one. Shalom.